Would you like to improve your English reading skills? In this lesson, we're going to read a newspaper article together so you can learn a lot of advanced vocabulary, complex grammar, complex sentence structure, and natural pronunciation in a very fun and engaging way. And at the end of this lesson, I'll share a link to a free PDF that summarizes everything that you learned in this lesson. I'll also read the article in full right at the end, so make sure you watch right till the end. Welcome back to J4S English Training. Of course, I'm Jennifer, and this is your place to become a fluent, confident English speaker. Now let's get started. Welcome to the article. Today we're talking about Beyonce and the Grammy Awards, which recently took place. So first, I will read the article in full and you can pay attention to my pronunciation. So let me read it now. Beyonce arrived fashionably late to the 2023 Grammy Awards. She was stuck in LA traffic. Beyonce's highly anticipated appearance at the 2023 Grammy Awards was delayed due to, you won't believe it, Los Angeles traffic. I mean, where was her helicopter? Over an hour into the ceremony, the Renaissance singer finally made it to the Crypto.com arena, as confirmed by Pop Base. Once she took her seat, host Trevor Noah panned to her table where we got a first glimpse of her look. The Grammy-winning artist, who tied the record for the most all-time wins with her husband, Jay-Z, wore a strapless beige corset top with a silver metallic skirt by Gucci, accessorized with black leather gloves. For beauty, she opted for a soft bronze look, her honey gold hair crimped and worn down. Now let's review the article in more detail so you can learn some of the advanced vocabulary and grammar concepts from this article. This is a very short article. It's a very light-hearted topic. Light-hearted means not serious topic. We're talking about Beyonce. We're focusing on her clothes, and we're talking about the Grammys. So let's read the title here. Beyonce arrived fashionably late to the 2023 Grammy Awards. So, of course, I could say Beyonce arrived late to the Grammys. When I add the word fashionably, it means that she was late, but in a positive way. We use this a lot in North American culture because let's say you're invited to a party and the party starts at 8 o'clock p.m. Nobody goes to the party at 8 o'clock p.m. because it's not fashionable. Fashionable means popular at a specific time. So let me write that down for you. Fashionable. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Fashionable, popular, but at a specific time. So first, let me give you an example of fashionable, and this is an adjective. So right now, since COVID actually, I would say it's fashionable to wear casual clothes to the office. Casual clothes meaning jeans and a cotton t-shirt to the office. It's fashionable, which means it's popular right now. And I could say before COVID, it was fashionable to wear suits to the office. Now, I'm sure some places it's still fashionable to wear suits. And that's the thing with fashionable. It really depends on where you are in the world because fashion trends change around the world, right? So this could not apply to where you live or the office you work in. So that's fashionable. So going back to our example, the party starts at 8 o'clock p.m. It's not fashionable to arrive at 8 o'clock p.m. Everybody shows up fashionably late. So everybody shows up, which is another way of saying arrive. It's just a more casual, familiar way of saying it using the phrasal verb to show up. Everyone shows up fashionably late, which is probably between 8:15 to 8:45 p.m. for a party. So they're saying Beyonce was late, but in a positive way. She was fashionably late. Now, sometimes we use this if someone says you're late, and you might reply back just in a fun way, no, I'm fashionably late. I'm fashionably late, which is just trying to make a lighthearted way of saying, I'm sorry for being late. I'm fashionably late. But keep in mind, this isn't the case with appointments like a doctor's appointment or a job interview. You must show up at the scheduled time. In fact, you should show up early. So notice I've been using show up. So that's a great phrasal verb to add to your vocabulary, which just means arrive. Okay, let's continue on. And doesn't she look gorgeous at the Grammys? This is the reason why she was fashionably late. She was stuck in LA traffic. So this is a great expression to add to your vocabulary because you can use it when you're late. You can say, sorry, I'm late. I was stuck in traffic, obviously. You could say, I was stuck in a meeting. I was stuck at an appointment. So it doesn't have to be traffic, but traffic is probably the number one most common reason when you're late. But this is very common as well. Oh, I was stuck in a meeting. When you use the verb stuck, to be stuck, notice our sentence structure, to be stuck. To be stuck. And that's why our verb to be is conjugated in the past simple here. I was stuck. That means you're unable to leave. To be stuck. To be unable to leave. And the reason why you can't leave that meeting is because you're talking to an important client or you're talking to your boss. You can't just walk out and leave. You have to stay to be unable to leave. So keep this in your vocabulary for the reason why you're late. Beyonce's highly anticipated appearance at the 2023 Grammy Awards was delayed due to, you won't believe it, LA traffic, Los Angeles traffic. So this is saying the exact same thing as up here. They're just basically repeating it. I mean, where was her helicopter? This is just a little joke. I don't think it's that funny. Maybe you do. And you can tell that this is written in a very casual way because in a professional writing context, you would never have a double exclamation. We have a double punctuation. Sorry, we have an exclamation point, which is right here, and we have a question mark. This is very commonly used in casual writing, but it is never used in professional writing. In professional writing, you only have one punctuation. So either the question mark or the exclamation point. But this is very common in casual writing. When I write text messages to friends, I often do multiple punctuations. Sometimes in my text messages, I'll have lots. I'll, do things like that. But most commonly, I stick to 3. 2 or 3 is quite common in casual writing. And it's just really to emphasize. But again, casual writing only. Let's take a look at highly anticipated. When something is anticipated, it means that people are looking forward to it or expecting it. And then highly is just used to emphasize that, highly anticipated. They're very commonly used together. So to look forward to or to expect something or someone. For example, since we're talking about music, I'll use Taylor Swift's. Taylor Swift's last album was highly anticipated. So before she released that album, a lot of people were looking forward to it. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for that album. Or they were just expecting it. Oh, I bet she's going to release an album soon. I bet it's going to happen next month. This is exciting. So you're looking forward to, or you're expecting something with positive emotion. You could use this for an upcoming vacation, for example, or even a job interview. It could be a really highly anticipated meeting because something amazing could happen as a result. You could get your dream job. So this is a good adjective. This is an adjective, a good adjective to add to your speech. And they're saying that her appearance, people were looking forward to her appearance, mainly because they wanted to see what she was going to wear, or maybe she was performing and they wanted to know what song she was going to perform. It was highly anticipated. Okay, and then we talked about the reason why she was late. In this case, they just use was delayed. Delay is another way of saying late. And we know the reason why she was stuck in traffic. Okay, let's continue on. Over an hour into the ceremony. So over an hour into the ceremony means the ceremony, the Grammy Awards, has already taken place for 65 minutes or more than 1 hour. And then the Renaissance singer, I guess this is the name of a song or an album by Beyonce, finally made it to the arena. When you make it to a location, it simply is another way of saying arrive. We usually use this when you have some difficulty arriving. For example, you might say, I can't believe I made it to the job interview in time. I was stuck in traffic for 20 minutes. So even though you were stuck in traffic for 20 minutes, you still arrived in time. And I'm using made it as a replacement to arrive just to suggest there was some struggle involved in arriving. So she finally made it to the arena as confirmed by Pop Bass. All right. Once she took her seat, host Trevor Noah panned to her table. This is just a photography term. If you're not a photographer, just ignore it. When you pan, this is the camera, okay? Right now, sorry, my microphone's in the way. I'll move back. That means pan. When you move the camera slowly and then you might focus on something specific. So in this case, they focused on Beyonce's table. That's pan. You can ignore it if you're not in the photography industry. So it's just a photography term. Okay, let's take a look at the sentence structure here. Once she took her seat. In this case, once means the same as after. Once she took her seat. And then notice the second part of the sentence is in the past simple. Okay? So I could say, once I arrived, we called the marketing team. Once I arrived, past simple, we called past simple. So past simple, past simple. Okay. This is a great sentence structure just to show the sequence of the events. This happened first and this happened second, but they are both past events. So this is a great first action. Just write that here, first action, and then we have our second action. So this is a nice sentence structure you can add, second action. And you can use this in a casual context as well. Once we landed in Cuba, let's say you're going on vacation to Cuba. Once we landed in Cuba, we went to the beach. So this is the first thing you did after you landed. And both of them are in the past simple. The Grammy-winning artist who tied the record for the most all-time wins with her husband, Jay-Z. That's pretty awesome. When you tie, it means you finished with the exact same score or result. We use this with anything competitive. So sports, for example, let's say there's a game and the score was 3-3. This is a tie. So you could say it was a tie game. If somebody asked you who won, you would say nobody. It was a tie. It was a tie. It was a tie. You can just leave it at that, or you can add game. It was a tie game. You might say match if that's the word choice you use for the specific sport. It was a tie. Now, if you are the opponent and you're playing someone else specifically, you could use, instead of it was, you could say we tied, which means my team scored the exact same as the other team. We tied. And it could be a team, or it could just be one person against one person. So maybe Jay-Z won 10 awards and Beyonce won 10 awards. So they tied. It was the exact same number. That describes a tie. Okay. Now they're talking about what she wore, because that's what they talk about at the Grammys, right? The appearance. She wore a strapless beige corset top with a silver metallic skirt by Gucci, accessorized with black leather gloves. Okay, so strapless, this represents strapless. She doesn't have any straps, right? Now, a corset is when it's tied very tightly at your back. Usually there's some rope and they actually tie it very tightly at the back. Metallic is the color of her skirt, and then her black leather gloves. Gloves, of course, you wear. And they used the word accessorized because they consider gloves accessories. Accessories. So let me write this for you. Accessories. Now these are items added to an outfit for decor, like decoration, for decoration. So things like jewelry, purse would be an accessory. Spelled that wrong. Jewelry, purse. I guess in this case, gloves, a hat. What else could be an accessory? Well, for men, like a watch, but that's considered jewelry as well. I can't think of any other accessories, so we'll just leave it at that. So let's see. Beyonce has earrings. These are accessories. She doesn't have a necklace, which would be a common accessory. She probably has a purse somewhere, which would also be an accessory. And they're added to her main outfit. Her main outfit is the shirt and the skirt, right? Everything else is an accessory. Okay, where were we here? They're using this as a verb, which is, of course, you can use it as a verb, but it's more common to use it as a noun. So you might say, for my birthday, you can buy me some accessories, and then you can specify what accessories you like. Maybe you like earrings, maybe you like rings, maybe you like watches, purses. You can specify. All right. For beauty, she opted for a soft bronze look, her honey gold hair crimped and worn down. This is a great verb to have in your vocabulary. The verb is opt, to opt. Listen to my pronunciation, opt, opt. Now, you can opt for something, which is how it's used here. The something would be a noun. You can also opt to do something. So that is opt plus infinitive verb. So to do something. Now, what does this mean? When you opt to do something or for something, it means you make a specific choice. Let me give you an example. I opted to decline the promotion. I was offered a promotion and I chose not to accept the promotion. So I made a specific choice. So we use this when you have a choice. You can do one thing or another thing. You could have more than two choices. You could have many choices. And when you want to specify what you personally decided, you can use the word opt. Now, this is a verb, which is why it's in the past simple, because I already made the decision. It's a completed action. Notice I'm using my infinitive. If I wanted to use a noun, I opted for, what would I say? I opted for my current job. This is a something. I made the choice to keep my current job. It would be more common to use an infinitive, but I just want to show you an option where you could also use for. So both of these sentence structures are very common. So here they're saying she opted for a soft bronze look. I don't really know what that means, to be honest, but they're saying that she had other choices. So she could have chose a different color instead of bronze. I guess maybe they're talking about her shirt, maybe, is what she opted for. I don't know. Or her makeup, like her lipstick color is soft bronze. Probably the makeup, actually. So she could have opted for bright red. She could have opted for purple, for orange, all these different colors, but she opted for soft bronze. Maybe they're talking about her hair as well. So that's a great verb to have as well. And notice that sentence structure. And finally, the last thing I'll explain is worn down. They're talking about her hair, worn down. I get asked a lot of questions from women about how to talk about what to do with your hair. So right now, my hair is down. My hair is down. My hair is down. I could also say I'm wearing my hair down. Now, in general, so the present simple, I usually wear my hair down. Okay. Now, what's the opposite of down? It's up, right? I rarely wear my hair, not here, hair up. So this is up, up, down. Pretty simple, right? So that's how you can use it with hair. And notice, I could say my hair is down, my hair is up, but then we also use subject and then the verb wear, my hair, and then up or down. And that is the end of our article. I hope you enjoyed it. And what about you? Did you watch the Grammys? Who was your favorite singer from the Grammys? Share something related to the Grammys in the comments as well. Amazing job with this lesson. I hope you enjoyed the article. If you did, let me know in the comments. And what was your favorite new word from this article? Share that in the comments as well. And if you look in the description of this video, you'll find the link to download the free lesson PDF that summarizes everything you learned today. And if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, share it with your friends, and of course, subscribe. And before you go, make sure you head on over to my website, jforrestenglish.com, and download your free speaking guide. In this guide, I share 6 tips on how to speak English fluently and confidently. And until next time, happy studying!